This is a Land Pride RTA 1266. Snatch block. I had it turned around backwards. Well, the chipper, somebody left their hammer down here. That's not very good. Chipper's off the tractor for good reason. I hadn't had it off, it's been on the tractor for a long time. The garden tiller was sitting right there, and we put the garden tiller on the tractor. We're gonna plow up what is our garden spot. Last year we didn't have a garden. We planted a couple of things, some tomatoes and peppers, but we didn't plow up the garden spot. We want to plant some things this year. I know we want to plant some squash, maybe some zucchini, some bush beans. My wife wants a green patch, some tomatoes and peppers, just a few things, you know. We're not going to plant corn because we'd just be feeding the deer. I put this Land Pride tiller, garden tiller, on the tractor, and it does a pretty good job. The ground's not been run over with heavy equipment or anything, so I'm thinking, I'll probably be tilling about 4, maybe 5 inches deep. I'm thinking that's going to be plenty good because the ground, it's a beautiful, beautiful plot of soil. You'll see here in just a minute. But anyway, that's what I'm going to get into, and so it's a little bit different than sawmilling or carpentering, but next to the smell of sawdust. And sometimes it might even exceed the smell of sawdust. The smell of freshly turned soil. Let's go turn some dirt in a minute, but I wanted to say thank you to everybody who chimed in, gave me some what they saw on the winch installation. I did go back, touched up based off of your suggestions, a couple of things. Let me just show you one. I believe it was, man, he wasn't real comfortable with this here, holding this. So to give it just a little insurance, I just tacked these little hurricane straps on here. One here and one there. Just as a little insurance, just in case we had a catastrophic fail or something. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think man felt it's going to happen. But, you know, sometimes insurance is not a bad thing. And the other thing was, I forget who it was that saw that I had this snatch block. I had it turned around backwards. So I've got it turned back around now the right way. A third thing I'm going to do, oh, and by the way, while I had it off, I had not greased that pulley, the bearings, and so I greased that while I had it done. That was a good thing. But if you'll notice over here on the controls, I've got what the electric company calls a vampire going on. See that blinking light? Well, that means it's using electricity when I'm not needing to use electricity. I'll drop a leg out of there, come down here and put a switch over here on this post, or may just drop it down and put a switch right there. Either way, wherever I put it, I'm gonna drop a switch out of that so that I can just reach over there and switch that off instead of having to plug it. I think you'll agree with me. That'd be a good idea. This is a Land Pride RTA 1266. I think it's 6 feet wide. got rain coming in a couple of days, so it's going to rain, and then I'll go back and hit it over again when it dries out. Last year we didn't grow a garden. We grew some peppers and tomatoes, but that was about it. I think I'm trying to make it go a little bit deeper. We'll see if I do. think we'll let that rest a couple of days. Supposed to get big rain, I think, Monday. And I don't know how deep I was cutting, probably about 4 or 5 inches. But we let this field rest last year, and I wouldn't be surprised if it rests again this year, but at least we got the grass cut up. My wife's wanting to plant a few things. So, Lord willing, time permits, that's what we're going to do. But the land pride did pretty good for not having run for probably, goodness gracious, how long has it been since David moved from Fayetteville?
3 or 4 years.
When did he move to Fayetteville? 5 years ago?
Oh, to Fayetteville.
Yeah. It's probably been at least 5 years, maybe 6, since the last thing I ran. I tried to grease it up real good before I started, and I had a challenge with the PTO getting it on, but I think my problem was 2 things. I don't know what I'm doing, but the other thing was I didn't grease up all the pipes that fit together for the PTO, and I should have oiled that up real good before I started. I wouldn't have had it. I don't think I'd had any trouble. But there's a few stones out here. You probably heard me hitting some, but not many. I've cleaned out most of the rocks. This is beautiful soil though, and it does great for a garden if I get a seed in the ground. We'll get a few things planted, some maters, and peppers and that kind of thing. Hey, I appreciate you joining me. And that's it for the Farmer Joe outlet. I'll see you in the next one. Good job, Kubota. Good job, Land Pride.